Hello and welcome everybody to another StarCraft 2 cast by Glitch. Today, I'm going to be casting for you some games from a French Protoss player that is a very good one. I've cast him before. He is spawning here in the bottom left position of Tal'Darim Altar as the red Protoss. We have ToD. ToD, as I said, is a French Protoss player, plays for the team Fnatic MSI, and he's just really good. Was ridiculously good in Warcraft 3, switched over to StarCraft 2, and now he's ridiculously good at StarCraft 2. So we're going to be looking at some of his replays today. He just recently released a replay pack of a bunch of ladder games that he's been playing on the Korean ladder, so I'm going to just be casting a couple of those today. I think I'm actually going to cast a couple more tomorrow as well. Today I'm just going to strictly be doing a couple of PVZ matches. Right after this match, I actually have a match with Idra coming up as well. For this first match, though, we are going to be looking at his opponent in the bottom right position as the Blue Zerg, playing from Team Incredible Miracle. Yes, you guys all know and love him. He is IMNesTea. Now, IMNesTea, for those of you that don't know him, he's a ridiculously good Zerg player. I don't know what else to tell you. If you don't know who IMNesTea is, he's pretty much the #1 Zerg player in the world, widely considered by most to be the best Zerg player in the world. He is from South Korea, plays on that Incredible Miracle team, and yeah, he's just broken good. The guy makes Zerg OP. He's so good, and we're about to see if ToD can take a win off of IMNesTea here in this game on Tal'Darim Altar on the Korean ladder. Looks like IMNesTea did manage to go for that fast spawning pool. That spawning pool is now coming up. No hatchery is yet down for IMNesTea. He is sending out a couple of overlords to get some scouting information in right now, and it looks like he is going straight into the correct direction. Has he scouted at all? No, he hasn't scouted his opponent's position at all. Looks like ToD is just going to be opening up with a Forge Fast Expand. Very standard opening to do on this map on Tal'Darim Altar. Fairly safe to do a Forge Fast Expand. It's not the narrowest choke in the world, but definitely possible to wall it off with a Forge, a Gateway, and then a Cybernetics Core usually to polish off that little wall off, maybe leaving a little bit of a gap there for a Zealot. Looks like one cannon is actually going to be going down here before ToD throws down any kind of Nexus. This is, of course, because he did see that spawning pool first from IMNesTea. And as we can see, IMNesTea going to be looking to get a little bit aggressive here in the early game as 4 Zerglings now out on the map. Another 2 are on the way, so it looks like it is going to be a total of 6 Zerglings, and that could be very punishing for ToD. So that is why he waited on that Nexus till he got his scouting information. Then once he got in there, saw that spawning pool was down, threw down the cannon first. Otherwise, I'm sure we would have seen the Nexus before that cannon came up. Maybe even a Gateway before any kind of cannon came up as well. But now ToD is well informed as to what his opponent is doing. Looks like IMNesTea is going to now be taking his natural expansion. Hatchery is now down. No gas yet been taken. He does have 1 queen out on the field. A second is now on the way. ToD so far just building up lots and lots of drones. Just now taking 2 gas geysers. Lots of probes, I guess I should say. Now taking 2 gas geysers as well once this Nexus is down. And I don't know what we could expect to see here from ToD. ToD he's known for a variety of styles. I wouldn't like to say that he favors any one style in particular. I've seen him go for a variety of macro styles. Haven't seen a whole lot of cheese out of him, but then again, I just haven't seen a lot of ToD games, period. I just know that the few games I have seen of him, he's just ridiculously good, and that he's very highly revered in the StarCraft 2 community. So IMNesTea's expansion hatchery just now completing. His queen is going to be getting there. It looks like he's going to start to take down the destructible debris to his 3rd base, and he's going to be getting a very fast 3rd, I think. And ooh, getting a little bit of lag there, but not a problem. Going to continue on. Still no gas up at all for IMNesTea. If we check out the harvester count right now, they are dead even on harvesters right now. ToD now has 2 gas geysers up and mining. Natural expansion just now starting to get up and running. Lots of mining going on there. Cybernetics Core just now finishing up. Looks like this is going to be a complete wall off here from ToD with that pylon. Not a single unit is going to be able to get through there or get by. Gateway now up. The first unit is going to be a Zealot here. Oh my god, and I am getting some lag. We are going to just wait until that's come. Yeah, that's going to be alright. We are going to keep going in this game. Now, ToD, interestingly enough, getting that first Zealot and then following it up with a very quick Stalker. Notice he's not devoting any Chrono Boost to this Cybernetics Core in this Warp Gate research, so he's not trying to get any kind of super early aggression going on. No kind of early warp gate timings. Looks like he's just going to be taking his time. And there actually goes down one chrono boost there on that warp gate. Going to have to keep an eye on that to see if he's going to be chrono boosting that out anymore. As we can see, there is actually a very, very, very fast Twilight Council now coming up here. And it looks like IMNesTea just now taking 3 gas geysers at once. So it looks like he's going to have a quick income there. Looks like he's preparing to take his third, but the Zealot is just going to be poking in here just in time to see that drone trying to throw down that expansion. And now IMNesTea is going to have to get that drone out of there and finish that Zealot off with these 6 Zerglings, which are now going to start to focus down that one Zealot. Hatchery just now going down here for IMNesTea. Now notice IMNesTea does have this Overlord in the base of ToD, and wow, that is actually... yeah, ToD actually cannot see that at all, and holy cow, look at that map awareness here by IMNesTea. Actually managed to catch this pylon that ToD placed out here in the middle of, or up on this high ground here for later warping in units. Looks like he's actually going to be able to pick off that pylon. That is pretty good, and it looks like he's just going to be throwing down one more at this location instead. IMNesTea continuing to go very, very heavy in the drones, and what do we have now going down here for ToD but a Dark Shrine? So it looks like Dark Templar is going to be the name of the game. ToD does know that this Overlord is here, and he does have, once again, he's trying to keep that Stalker there because he wants to deny scouting information into this area as that Dark Shrine is still coming up. A Dark Shrine, of course, takes an eternity to make, takes 100 seconds, which is quite a few seconds to make, and with that forward pylon up, I think once these warp gates are up, we are going to be seeing some quick Dark Templar being warped into that forward position to start to take off some units. But look at IMNesTea, my god, he's got this Zergling just non-stop, and oh my god, IMNesTea actually, I think, saw those Dark Templar actually warping in, so he's going to know that they are on the way. And how is he going to be responding to this? Looks like he's got a bunch of Roaches now out on the field. Zergling speed is on the way right now. Roach Warren is up, but there's the Evolution Chamber researching that +2 attack, but does he know what to be expecting here? It looks like another pylon going down all over the place. And no, it looks like it was Zealots actually being warped in there. That was my bad. For some reason, I thought those were Dark Templar being warped in. But no, ToD actually warping in first a set of Zealots. Now warping in a set of Dark Templar. IMNesTea is going to be thinking he can hold this. But just now, he just saw the Dark Templar get into his base now. And he's going to be fully aware that there are now Dark Templar focusing down this hatch. And look at how fast that hatchery is going to be going down. It's going to be taking so much damage. And it looks like that hatchery is going to be forced to fall. IMNesTea now pulling all his drones and his queen back. Spore Crawlers now going up at the natural expansion as well as in the main. In the base of ToD right now, we see that a robotics facility is now going down, as well as a couple more gateways. That's going to bring his total warp gate count up to 6 right now. He is currently researching that blink ability, but those Dark Templar, it looks like they have mostly been taken out now, as those Spore Crawlers have been well placed here by IMNesTea. ToD trying to get around, trying to find any way to deal damage that he can, trying to hide these Dark Templar in a little corner until he decides he will try to use them later on. But now there is an Overseer coming out onto the map here for IMNesTea. With that, he's going to be able to track down that one Dark Templar. One more Dark Templar holding a Xel'Naga Watchtower here for ToD. Another up at the top. We do have pylons going down all over the map. It looks like ToD trying to be very active with his pylon. This is something that we're going to start to see a lot more in all of the Protoss matchups. We are going to see Protosses putting down pylons all over the place just because warp gates allow you to build units anywhere. It allows you to build units in your base, outside of your base, wherever you want for counterattacks, anything or anywhere that you want units, you can just get them out there. It looks like that Dark Templar are going to pick off a few workers. Not too many workers lost, though. ToD managed to pick up 3 kills. But Protoss going to start to get a lot more versatile. Traditionally, Protoss players have kind of always wanted to stick to having one big, huge, strong army that just kind of sits there and is very, very strong, very difficult to defeat. But more recently, we've been seeing a surge forward of lots of Protoss players who warp in defensive units back home, but start to get lots and lots of pylons all over the map and start to take down he's going to start to take down his own warp gate there, and start to get lots of pylons all over the map so that they can get warp-ins at any time and go for like big counterattacks. And when I say big counterattacks, I'm not even talking about committing to a huge attack. I'm talking about they come to attack your front with a big group of Hydralisks and Roaches, and you just warp in 4 or 6 Zealots at a pylon in a good position and just send it into their natural or into their expansions. Start to deal lots and lots of damage that way. They're dividing up their army much the way a Zerg would try to do with groups of Zerglings. Now, this robotics facility is now up. Looks like so far more and more gateway units are now coming up here for ToD. Not that many more units have been warped in here for ToD, but man, this is a large Roach army that's now coming up on ToD's base. He does see it with this observer in place, and how is he going to be reacting to this? He has a lot of stalkers here, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. These Roaches are currently 1-0 in upgrades with that attack upgrade. ToD currently has the +2 stalker attack upgrade as well, so he's going to be doing extra damage. And look at this brilliant play here by IMNesTea, poking in, dealing lots of damage, then just pulling back, poking in, pulling back, poking in, pulling out, trying to do lots and lots of damage there, barely losing any Roaches at all, and now he's seeing the forces of ToD, and he's just going to move in and go for a very large attack here. So many Roaches. ToD is trying to blink back the weak stalkers here, doing his best he can to try to micro. Notice there is a queen in the fray as well, but this is a lot of Roaches here. He does have Burrow, but with that observer here in place, looks like ToD is going to be able to continue to do damage to those Roaches. Those Roaches going to move in one more time. A lot of these stalkers are starting to get very, very weak. We're starting to see a lot of red, yellow, and orange stalkers. And ooh, it looks like IMNesTea has finally decided he's not going to be able to take this base. Going to pull back. On his way back, he's going to check this third. Be sure that there is no third mining. Lots and lots of Roaches currently on the way here for IMNesTea. The third expansion is now up. Looks like, holy cow, did ToD actually go for a bit of a counterattack here? It looks like this hatchery actually ended up taking some damage. I'm going to super zoom through it. We're going to get some lag. There we go. There was a Dark Templar that did go in there and start to focus down that hatchery. Didn't quite get it, though. In the meantime, IMNesTea was able to do all this damage up at the front door. Roach is coming in doing lots and lots of damage. That hatchery did survive, however, and it looks like IMNesTea going to be mining on that very shortly here. And I'm going to just speed this back up to where we were. Immortals now out on the field here for ToD. Looks like with those, he is going to finally be able to push those Roaches back. In the base of IMNesTea right now, let's check out that harvester count. 55 harvesters to 51, currently favoring ToD, so he is currently in a very good position here. But IMNesTea, of course, soon to be on 3 bases here, continuing to produce more and more Roaches right now. Looks like he's just going to go for big mass aggression right now. Hasn't at all scouted this upper base here. I'm actually kind of surprised that he hasn't scouted that base yet. Ooh, looks like he did just finish that tunneling claws upgrade. We do see Hydralisk Den now on the way here for IMNesTea. Lair Tech is, of course, done as well. +2 missile attacks is currently on the way here for IMNesTea. We also see lots and lots more Roaches in production. Look at the food count right now. 180 food to the 122 of ToD. He is just going full out aggression. This is just a little bit all in here by IMNesTea. Notice, I mean, he does have that third base that's slowly getting up and running there, but he is committing to a lot of Roaches, and it looks like ToD is fully aware of this, producing more and more Immortals. The Immortal count is getting very, very high. IMNesTea does have one Changeling in the army of ToD right now, so he does see that this Immortal count is currently up and growing. We do see the Grooved Spines upgrade now coming down for the Hydralisks. That is, of course, going to be very helpful against this kind of army. Hydralisks are extremely good against Protoss Gateway units. So Hydralisks in this mix are going to be very, very powerful. Looks like he's going to be sending in here, trying to pick off units. I like this from IMNesTea. He's just poking in, trying to pick off units here and there wherever he can. Notice he's done a lot of damage to some units. He even picked off a spare sentry there from ToD there. That is, of course, 100 gas loss. That is a big loss there to have to suffer, especially because that is going to be a lot less force fields that are going to be able to go down. Looks like IMNesTea is going to be committing to this attack as he moves in with lots of Roaches. Force fields going down, preventing any kind of retreat of these Roaches. That's going to make it very, very difficult, but IMNesTea is just going to burrow right under those force fields, get out of there. But ToD chasing him down with all these Blink Stalkers. Looks like he's going to be able to pick off a lot more Roaches. These Roaches are 2-0 in upgrades, but now he's going to be forced to pull back to his Hydralisks. Lots of Hydralisks currently on the way here for IMNesTea. As he kind of slowly gets this third up and mining, he's going to be trying to engage once again with the Hydralisks on the high ground. What he's going to want to be doing is taking some damage on these Roaches, but once those Roach numbers start to dwindle, he's going to want to pull back with those Hydralisks, because those Hydralisks are very expensive, and no, it looks like they are just going to go down to all the forces of ToD, and now ToD with a huge army is now going to be pushing forward. IMNesTea, though, notice he is keeping up in the food count. He's producing lots of Lings and more Roaches here to be able to reinforce with. We see 6 Roaches currently on the way, and IMNesTea actually throwing down some Spines right now, feeling a little bit nervous about his chances right now, as he's now going to move forward. The the Immortal count is getting rather high, as there are 4 Immortals currently out on the field here for ToD. IMNesTea going to be moving forward once again, trying to focus down these Immortals as best he can with these Hydralisks, but man, those Immortals do so much damage. These Immortals, of course, do bonus damage versus armor. Notice the damage right now with these +2 upgrades. Normally they do 24 damage to most units, but against armored units like Roaches, they deal 60 damage per shot. Of course, a Roach has 145 hit points, so that is going to be 3 shots to kill a Roach from an Immortal. That is still really, really good, because Roaches are just so tanky. But with these Immortals, they just go down so fast, and really for this kind of an army from Zerg to be able to deal a lot of damage, you need those Roaches to be able to survive very long, take lots and lots of damage, while you have the Hydralisks in the back of the army dealing lots and lots of damage. They have very, very high damage per second, very, very fast weapon speed there, and lots of damage. So Hydralisks, one of the higher DPS units in the Zerg arsenal. But of course, their one disadvantage is that they are ridiculously slow. Super slow when they are not on creep. Though I hear that in Heart of the Swarm, we are going to be getting a bit of a Hydralisk speed upgrade, which I will be so happy about. I heard that, I think what they said was that Hive Tech, you're going to be able to get an upgrade for Hydralisks to increase their speed. That is, of course, all subject to change, though, as Blizzard does frequently change a lot of stuff before they finally go live with any kind of changes to the game. And that, of course, would require the purchase of the Heart of the Swarm expansion as well. But look at the macro of IMNesTea right now. He's going to be taking a 4th base right now, but my god, 174 food to the 153 of ToD. They were even just a little while ago, but IMNesTea just macroing so hard right now, trying to get up a huge army force. He's not at all going for a more economic focus play. He's definitely doing something more of a balance. Notice players like Rhett will be getting up lots and lots of expansions. We're at the 20-minute mark right now. A player like Rhett would have lots and lots of expansions up and running here, but IMNesTea going for a much more of a balanced style play where he's going to be getting mixtures. He got up on 2 bases, produced lots and lots of Roaches, then he kind of took a 3rd kind of slowly as he pushed out with lots and lots more Roaches. Didn't even mine off this 3rd base here for a while, just continued to produce more and more Roaches, went for full aggression while he was being aggressive, kind of slowly got this 3rd base established, and now he kind of transitioned back into full macro mode again, getting lots of Roaches and Hydralisks, and now he's once again going to be taking that 4th base. Some Zealots are going to be warped in here from this pylon up at this upper position, and this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. ToD trying to take advantage of the fact that IMNesTea's army is very slow here, and as long as IMNesTea's army is out here, he can do a lot of damage with just a couple of units here. As we can see, looks like this Dark Templar, as well as these Zealots here, are going to be able to do lots of damage, and IMNesTea being forced to pull back once again. Notice the Spire is now about to be up here for IMNesTea. That is, of course, because his main fear right now with this kind of an army composition, Roaches and Hydralisks, his big fear is going to be Colossi right now, and as we can see, that is exactly what ToD has transitioned into, as there are now 2 Colossus on the field. 1 more is on the way. 2 more Colossi on the field, I should say. Notice that ToD's 3rd is up. He is now going to be taking a 4th while he's being aggressive here. Very, very good RTS play, and here comes a big engagement as IMNesTea is now moving in with a fully maxed army, sitting at 200 out of 200 food. ToD is currently at 190 food, and here comes the engagement. So many Immortals in this mix. These 2 Colossi, so hard to break right now for IMNesTea. I think IMNesTea really needs to be teching to higher units. As we can see, 9 Corruptors are currently on the way. No Hive Tech yet down here for IMNesTea. I don't even think we have an infestation pit, and oh my goodness, he actually lost the hatchery up here at this northern position as well. So IMNesTea not in the best of places right now, because ToD is about to have the base lead. I would say at this point in time, ToD's army is pretty significantly better than the forces of IMNesTea right now. Roaches and Hydras are just not what you need against Immortals, Stalkers, and Colossi. This army is going to be so strong. There are a good number of Corruptors now coming out onto the field here for IMNesTea, but are they going to be enough? Just being able to take out these 2 Colossi, even with those Colossi not in this army, I think that this is going to be a very, very tough spot for IMNesTea. Looks like ToD just going to be pulling back. He was just kind of putting his army in a forward position here just to force his army back a little bit, force IMNesTea to be defensive while he gets up this 4th base and gets up a few cannons at that base. Really, really like that play here from ToD, but IMNesTea, once again, the moment the pressure is released, IMNesTea instantly going to be going on the attack. One more time, moving out with lots of Roaches and Hydras. Notice again, he's being aggressive, but he's being very carefully aggressive. I really, really like that from IMNesTea. The fact that even when he's being aggressive, he's not just going out for a big, huge, all-out attack. He pokes in with his entire army, tries to do some damage, pulls back. Pokes in, picks off a few units, and then just pulls back. Never, ever afraid to just pull back to his home base here. And we do now have Hive Tech on the way. I think this is very, very good decision-making here by IMNesTea. You really, really need to start to get to Hive Tech. Once you see your opponent with all of these Immortals and Colossi, you really need to start to get some Hive Tech units up if you're going to want to be able to deal with this type of army, just because this type of ground army is extremely, extremely powerful. We do see that some High Templar are now out on the field here for ToD, so he's pretty much just getting every single unit that he could possibly want to get to be able to counter Roach Hydra. He does have these High Templar going to be able to get some nice Psy Storms down, and beautiful Psy Storms now going down here as he is now throwing down some force fields to prevent some of this damage from a lot of these forces. And holy cow, the forces of IMNesTea are falling so quickly to this army. Still very high Stalker count. The Colossi are going to go down to the Corruptors, but the Immortals and Stalker count here is still so high here from ToD. 156 food to the 138 of IMNesTea. He is trying to macro as hard as he can. So many, 32 Roaches currently on the production tab, as well as 4 Infestors, but I don't know if it's going to be enough at this point. This army is still quite healthy here from ToD, as he has a lot of Stalkers that are still very, very good in health. If there's one thing I can criticize ToD on right now, it's that his upgrades aren't quite where they could be. We do have +3 ground weapons on the way, but on 4 bases, then you would think that ToD would want to be getting up lots and lots more upgrades. As we can see, he is kind of mining out, though. His main is completely mined out. His natural is mined out. His third is getting a little bit low. Well, his third still got a decent amount of resources there, but his fourth mining pretty well here, and it looks like ToD is putting his army in a very, very scary position right now. He does have kind of this fear of his army getting surrounded here, but I think he's feeling pretty confident about that last army trade right now, and now he's just trying to put some pressure on this base here so that he can try to take that out. Notice IMNesTea has not had the time to saturate it, and IMNesTea trying to do what he can to hold off this army. Fungal growth's going down on everything but the GG from IMNesTea, as he realizes that this force is just going to be too strong for him to deal with, and ToD takes a win off of IMNesTea. Absolutely unbelievable play there from ToD. And now, we're going to be looking at one more game here from ToD. We're going to see if he can't take a win off of one more really, really good Zerg player. Going to try to see if he can't make Idra rage. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be casting a ToD versus Idra game from the StarCraft 2 ladder in just a moment, so stick with me, guys. ToD versus Idra coming up in a moment.